Ahoy listeners, welcome to the Yonko Podcast with me, Alex Chian, and our crew, Burke and Brock. Chapter 1026 continues the wild and even crazy action of 1025, albeit with even more wild and crazy action! Momo bites Kaido! Yep, you heard right, he bit a Yonko! This shit and so much more are going down in 1026. All that and so much more on today's episode of the Yonko Podcast, 1026. Let's jump right in. Let's set sail.
Chapter 1026.
Took that right out of my mouth.
I totally did. Just stole that right from the host. Ha ha ha.
Too scared to do the intro, but man, you'll jump right in.
Hell yeah. The pivotal clash, or if you're reading the scans, turning point.
Turning point.
No, never mind. We are not making that joke.
The pivotal clash. We got Nami with a designer shop selling some I Am Lion t-shirts.
First up, I love how cute she is. I love how cute the little lion is.
Yeah.
And the dad energy radiating off of that lion, man.
I always knew that Mufasa was alive, and Simba looks so cute in the t-shirt.
Wish Mufasa retired.
No, guys.
That's his grandson.
Guys.
Alternate history.
And then there's Leo. I forgot Leo's there.
Oh yeah, Leo with his Stitch powers.
Haute couture.
Nami Leo fashioning cute clothes for a lion cub.
Fun fact, I know I already discussed this with you, but that design on the sign is from when Bellamere made a apron for Nami back when she was alive.
Back when she was not shot in the head by Arlong.
When she was, or if you watched the 4Kids dub when she didn't go to prison for a very, very long time.
Dude, the 4Kids dub.
That's just a drug trip.
We should just have a reaction of that at some point in the future.
Please, God, no.
I just want to listen to the theme song every time.
Anyway, so we cut to a serene viewing of the flower capital.
Also, small little thing here. The scans are what is going to be in the video. We are going to be reading from the official because it is Sunday, my guys.
Yes.
Flower capital, Wano.
Didn't get to record until Sunday this week.
It's been busy.
Anyway, Flower Capital, Wano. We get to see lots of party goers enjoying the festivities at the Fire Festival.
Because we are still completely unaware of
so oblivious
of
what is happening
in the clouds.
In the clouds above us.
I get sad whenever I see Otoko.
Yeah.
I just think of Yasui.
Yeah.
Also the fact that she can't not smile.
Exactly. It's so horrible because then you don't know if she's actually happy right now.
Yeah, I literally have no clue.
She might just be pretending.
I'm going to go with yes because everyone seems pretty happy.
Well, also she's eating cotton candy, or something that looks like cotton candy.
I think it's cotton candy.
So,
yeah.
So you know,
I'll take the L on that one if it's not.
If my wife's any indication, cotton candy's all it takes to make her happy.
Yeah, then.
I really hope they.
Do you know that you married Chopper?
Chopper's her favorite character, so you know.
There it is.
Anyway, are you having fun, Otoko? Yeah! And he just,
Remind me of this character's name.
I always forget his... There's so many characters in Wano. Sorry.
Isn't the whole thing with this character, whose name I am currently forgetting, is that he might be Odin's dad?
So I know that...
What?
Isn't that the whole theory with him?
This guy's a famous blacksmith. He's the one who created...
Enma?
No, not Enma. It's the cursed one, or the cursed line.
Kitetsu.
Oh, the Nidai Kitetsu.
It was either him or...
Sandai Kitetsu.
Yeah, it was either him or his ancestors that made those swords.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember his exact name right now.
Gosh, what is his name? I will put it in the video.
Been a while.
I'll put it in the video. I'll shout that one out.
For now, he'll be old Usopp.
But he has a minor flashback really quick. Where are you going, Otama? Forgive me, master. I just can't stay home and do nothing. We will keep her safe, sir, said Speed. Come back right this instant.
Off they went.
And off they went.
And he's thinking to himself, is the girl all right?
No way to know. She's across the sea now. And
Party
all
continues.
I love the sound effect there in the cloud. Just grrrr.
We slowly
and
zoom in
slowly
on the
zoom
clouds,
up above to see
through
this
the clouds,
spot in the clouds.
and we see Onigashima
Getting close.
Reporting in about the mysterious dragon up on the roof at this moment.
Got another one of those Marys. Some dude with a thing on his face watching the big old battle.
Mm-hmm.
Young Master Yamato bruised and bloodied, and in the air, a sight that makes me question my own eyes.
Two dragons face to face. Master Kaido's Azure Dragon and a pirate riding a pink dragon.
Straw Hat Luffy! And then we get I think it's a flashback, Yamato's little memory. If only I could be a great big monster like that, I could actually help everyone, yells Momonosuke.
The dragon's identity is unknown.
And so Queen, so Yamato was keeping Kaido busy up there, but it is clearly an enemy.
And as Kaido charges up,
Blast
breath. He's going to breathe fire.
Okay, you spit something back at him.
Like what? I can't.
Blast breath!
And
No, stop! I am not here to fight.
Hey, Momo.
Luffy fucking is.
I just scans over this version. After he says, I'm not here to fight, I just want, Luffy just be like, Momo, you're harshing my vibes, dude.
We're here to fight, actually.
We're actually here to kick Kaido.
Actually, he's mellowing his vibes.
Yeah, you're mellowing my vibes, dude.
We need harsher vibes.
You need a vibe check, because I'm here to kick Kaido's ass. I don't know what the fuck you're doing here.
If I'm being real, initially I said that, Momonosuke was a lot smaller than Kaido in these,
No,
panels.
they're making him look a lot more
He looks
equal.
a little bit more equal. I don't know if Kaido's making himself smaller or Momo's actually bigger than I initially thought.
It might just be a perspective thing.
It could be.
I mean, that's usually how it goes with reading the
I think the anime will make it a little bit
manga
more clear
is,
on that size discrepancy.
So
Yes.
we'll see. But
anyway, Luffy, he's got that plan.
I was gonna say, so Luffy
Wait,
says,
wait,
hey,
Luffy! I cannot do this!
yeah, I was gonna say, we don't actually see what Luffy says quite yet.
No, we do not.
But so he hops up and, immediately jumps into,
no, elephant!
He is doing Gear 4 right now,
Yes, it's Gear
right?
4.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the move he used to beat Doflamingo.
No.
Or is he just...
No, that's just he's just doing the elephant gun, which is
No, elephant gun was what he used to beat him.
Can we clarify?
No, it's gear 3rd and then Haki'd up. Elephant gun's what he used to beat Hody. He just does the elephant gatling. Remember that?
No, he beat Hody with Red Hawk.
No, not beat Hody, but when he was knocking him into the Noah, he just it's gear 3rd.
I'm pretty sure it was King Kong gun.
Oh, you're right. Okay, sorry.
The arm and heart. Well,
this King Kong. Yeah.
This is just
King
an
Kong.
elephant gun.
This is just elephant gun, Haki'd up,
Okay.
elephant.
But to be clear, he came back to the battle with Snake Man, which at this point,
yes.
does Luffy not have to recharge anymore on his hockey thing?
Well, it's interesting because the next panel we see of Luffy, he's not really in a gear. It doesn't look like he's in a gear.
No, I know, but I'm saying he came back to this fight right now
And did Snake
As
Man.
and
Snake
did
Man.
Snake Man,
Did Snake
and
Man
now
movie?
it's not in Snake Man.
No, now he seems
and
to be
he's
back
using
to
hockey.
He seems to be back
So-
to normal.
This, forgive me for my confusion, because obviously I love this series and I've been watching for a while, but the whole thing with when Gear 4 was introduced was he has to take some time to...
Well, here's the thing. So if he is in, and this is what I know from the series, if he is in Gear 4 and he just stays in Gear 4, keeps doing Gear 4, keeps attacking in Gear 4 until it runs out, then he needs 10 minutes. What this looks like to me is that he used Snake Man, reverted immediately back to his normal self, and went for another attack. So I don't think we've ever really seen him go back and forth. He's kind of jumped into Gear 4
Yeah,
and
he
needed to
usually
stay in it
usually
the whole
whenever
time.
he hits those forms, he's usually in it for the long haul.
Like Katakuri,
so
right?
that's
Snake
definitely.
Man.
I think that's definitely possible.
Yeah,
because it was never stated that he couldn't do that.
We can discuss some of the things I've noticed later after this, but so yeah.
So
he does-
if quick transitioning out of Gear 4 into normal and back into it is something new, that could be interesting. But we've never really needed him to do that before. He's always just been you're like, he will point at antagonists and be like, I need this gear, and he'll do that, exhaust it, 10 minutes,
usually
get back into it.
Usually
beat
in
them,
the
right?
situations where he had to use those gears to this date,
Right.
he needed to beat them then.
Right.
He would absolutely need
Before
to
then,
beat them.
The only other thing about this is so maybe that need to recharge was done away with because of if I recall, the Cracker fight alone took 12 hours.
It took a long time, and he wasn't in Gear 4. Well, he was in Gear 4. He was winning.
He was using it a lot.
He lost it. He had to run away and recharge. Then he ate the crackers because Nami helped soften them.
Yep.
And then he had so much that when he went Gear 4 again, he had the Tank Man build, which was just giant badass
Sumo
Luffy,
wrestler Luffy,
right? And that's all we've ever seen of Tank Man, which was very fun. But again, he's always had to stay in that form until either they're beaten or he needs to recharge it. So like if he has like a gauge, he uses it until it's gone, then it goes all the way to 0 and then has to recharge before he can use it again. Whereas here he used it, went back to normal, so maybe he still has more.
And also, I mean, this might seem super normal, but it might also just be an adaptability. The more he uses it, the more he's able
In and
to
out of it.
That's the main reason I'm saying that, because obviously...
Because he has such a high level of battlefield
after the
adaptability.
events of Whole Cake especially, he was using those gears constantly.
Yeah.
And I think he probably would have just gotten to the point. And I'm obviously just going off of... I haven't watched past a certain point in the anime, which was like before Gear 4 was even introduced. So I'm going off of information that's only been manga based.
No, what I think is happening here is that he used Snake Man for the speed of hitting Kaido in that one moment and then reverted, which he's never really done before in a sense. Like he's always stated, like when he first fought Kaido, I assume he was in Bound Man until Kaido threw him off of Gashima, right? He had his 10 minutes down below, ate a bunch of food, recovered, got back on Momo, came back up.
Well, so no, I actually don't think he was doing Gear 4.
You don't think he was in earlier when he was fighting Kaido one-on-one?
Nah.
Why wouldn't he?
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say because obviously they off-screened us, but I think because he was getting his conquerors, his advanced conquerors, I think that's what he was trying to use.
You think he hadn't integrated it yet into his Gear 4th, maybe?
No.
And he was trying to master it in his base form?
Yeah, because the only time we've seen him in Gear 4, like, obviously back when everybody was still on the roof, but then I'm thinking of when he got beat by Kaido, like,
when he first,
way back.
Yeah, at the beginning of Wano. When he first
used Bound Man there, and Kaido one-shots him.
Yeah. After he transformed back into his normal base form.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can have a discussion about some stuff.
So Elephant Gun, very reminiscent of it, but it's reversed. Whereas the first time we see him do this to Kaido, Kaido's on the left. Luffy hits him down from the right. Now it's the other way.
And now
to show that time has
passed. Now it's clear that he's using his conquerors hits at this point, because if you remember that last time he hit Kaido in the same way, his fist was still touching Kaido. This time there was space, there was that conqueror's armament, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And also the fact that Kaido just got sent straight into the ground.
Yeah.
Sure. Because normally Luffy wasn't able, even in Gear 4, to really send him flying to that with one hit.
Well, the first time he hit him out of dragon form, right? Wasn't it straight into the ground?
I don't think so.
And then Kaido got back up and was as normal form.
Yeah.
And then Thunder Bagua.
I feel like once you see the anime, there will be a difference in effects.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think you'll be able to tell.
I think this is an anime like correlation where we've seen how he hit him the first time. This is going to be very different.
No, but I just based on what I'm seeing here, this is a much stronger, a much more sure attack.
Has to be, yeah.
So we see
knocked in the ground.
We get Yamato down. Yamato and Momo both looking on, just amazed at this feat of strength.
And then we can see what Luffy said to Momo.
We get a flashback again to what
Hey
Luffy
Momo,
said.
Fight Kaido and hold on. I can't.
I cannot do it. We are surrounded. It's Kaido. Run, Lady Toki. We get all these flashbacks.
Yeah, from Momo's memory of what happened to him.
And Mother
holding him as
and
the burning
and I love these flashbacks as the burning rage wells up inside of Momo, and he lunges forward and bites down upon Kaido. I love Kaido's face. Kaido's face.
It looks like it hurts. Do you guys think it actually hurts?
I think it does hurt. I think it's momentary, but I think it's the teeth of a fellow dragon.
I think it's also just the sheer shock of just what the fuck.
So far, I don't think anything's really been able to bite him while he's in his dragon.
Biting me.
I was gonna say, who the fuck has ever bit Kaido in their life and lived to tell the tale?
I mean, I can't imagine a dragon biting another dragon is like
common.
soft.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's drawing blood, but that can't feel nice.
I mean, it definitely looks like his teeth are sinking in, at least.
A little bit.
It does, especially if you go to the next panel.
Your father is a fool of a lord. As we should flashback.
And he bites harder.
Harder. He seems like he's trying to gum him to death almost.
And then Kaido just turns, "What are you doing, boy? You ruined my country. If it wasn't for you, my father and mother...
All of these are thoughts.
...would still be here.
At this point.
Get away from him, Momonosuke. Yamato.
Way to go, Momo, as freaking Luffy comes in and just decks Kaido again.
Yeah, man.
I'm pretty sure it's been a long time since Kaido's been decked in the face this much and it being even somewhat effective.
It's a solid 3-on-1 at the moment.
And so Kaido gets slammed against something else and Momo looks on. Kashunk! Dragons bring storm clouds with them as we cut away really quick to what is happening.
Treasure repository under the dome.
That will be the last we see of the moon tonight.
Oh, yes. The reveal of how that's all going.
Jack and Inuarashi in that treasure repository.
If you'd landed one more good hit on me, I might not have been able to stand anymore.
And then we go to my other fucking...
Don't blame the moon for your troubles. You didn't have bad luck, Berlin. I just got overwhelmingly good luck, Boss Cat.
Cat Viper, his Sulong form wore off.
Cat Viper's in a bit of a pinch. Is Inuyarashi, which look, Burke. I hate Parasparrow. I absolutely hate him. Just with you, you gotta give him credit for surviving that onslaught.
No, of course,
you gotta.
No, I'm not.
I'm surprised, but I'm not.
There is no hatred of this moment because it gives us a better moment.
It does.
So,
indeed it does.
Anyway, because the Mary is still watching the fight, all of a sudden we go back to the main floor and all throughout the castle as the recordings are still able to be heard. Momo, Lord Momonosuke, and the Mary watching on as we see what's happened. That's an Emperor of the Sea you just took a bite out of. And Momo's just surprised by this speech by
best fucking speech in this chapter. Literally.
Is there a single thing left in the world for you to be scared of?
You know what I love, real quick, about Luffy and his heroic speeches? Is they're not speeches. They're very short and to the point. He shows you and he pushes you forward with his actions and pushing you to action.
It's just
so blunt, so good.
It's the reason Luffy's such a good protagonist.
He's simple.
He just makes you want to be better. He makes everybody around him want to be better.
Yeah, I still constantly rewatch his speech at
Robin?
Not that one. That was a good one. No, no, it's actually in Wano still.
Oh.
It's in the prison when he stops all the guys that have the plague virus. He's like, "You're all nothing more than slaves. You're either with us or you're with Kaido." And everybody just tears up or like, "You're still willing to give us a chance?" And then he fucking just destroys Babanuki by tying up his fucking... And it's one of my favorite Luffy moments to date so far because it was just like... After he takes out the head guy, he's like, "The rest is up to you guys. I'm gonna nap."
and then Momo has this moment where he goes, he realizes that he did just bite a Yonko. He goes, "No, there is nothing else for him to be scared. No, then you go. You can fly. Yeah, go and stop Onigashima."
He just said Momo, right? Yeah, you think that dragon? Nah, couldn't be.
Who else is supposed to be? Come on, guys.
I was gonna say, guys, come on, Zoro, come on, Sanji.
I think it's because they're trying to reconcile the Momonosuke they know with a big old dragon that just
this little dude. That big old dragon.
Because they don't even know that he's grown up right now.
No, man, they have no clue.
They're just like, couldn't be.
They've got a whole bunch of shit too.
They got other stuff going on.
They got a lot going on.
I don't need to worry about it.
Luffy, don't worry about Kaido.
Kaido gets up.
Super sick panel, dude.
Just the shadowed eyes, like, "Oh, you bitch."
I guarantee you, I'll win.
Mama, did you hear that? What a funny guy.
You better win.
What's he been doing all this time?
I feel like Big Mom is like almost happy to see that there's someone who can like fight them. If only entertain them.
I was going to say it's more entertaining at this point for her.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think she thinks Kaido's going to deck the floor with them, but she thinks it's funny they're putting up such a fight.
And this is my only issue with the official release, because the scans actually kept this all as one page, which looked so much better.
Yeah,
that's Luffy Taro and Lord Momonosuke, say the samurai.
Big Momo!
Yeah, go get him, Luffy!
Luffy Taro!
And as Kaido changes back into his hybrid form, is there even a single chance you can beat me?
As long as I'm alive, I have infinite chances.
And all of a sudden, we strike at each other. And up above, the clouds part.
Just like Whitebeard.
Okay.
But
real quick, before we go to there, though.
We will talk about it.
Before we go to there, just the thought that as long as I'm alive, I have infinite chances. Luffy is constantly, and One Piece General is constantly saying these things. Like they're so easily, now they're obviously like larger than life sentences, but they can so easily be applied to real life. Now, as long as I'm alive, I have infinite chances. Like, fuck yeah, dude. That's not just a cool thing to say. That's
don't let your memes be dreams, bro.
Yeah.
What's really nice about that final panel as well with Luffy and Kaido clashing is at this moment, all those chapters ago, this is where Luffy fell, was on the ground, and Kaido just put his club up and went away in his base form. Here, we get that beautiful moment where it's equal.
Yeah.
No one's touching anyone. The black lightning is soaring.
Yep.
And the
reporting
sky parts.
in the clouds. Reporting in the clouds are splitting, and as we look up, both Perospero and Jack also see the same thing, and I love this split panel. Don't say a word. Who were you saying had all the luck? And it's such a cool split panel still, because they both open Odin, one sword style. Feline Frenzy!
Where's Dogstorm?
Canine Cleaver!
It's because they split it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Again.
It's fine.
I hate it. Come on, people. Eldest son of the Big Mom Pirates, Perospero, down and out. Lead performer of the Animal Kingdom Pirates, Jack the Drought, down and out.
If I'm being honest, the first time that I saw the look of Perospero, I thought that Nekomamushi decapitated him.
Literally, it looks like he just...
Obviously,
he ripped his freaking hat off.
Like, I thought that was a nose, and that was his...
The poor guy got mauled by a giant cat. What do you expect?
His candy arm was destroyed. His hat was destroyed. I was like,
just
shit.
A satisfying look of defeat for Perospero. Finally, he stopped talking.
I also
the narrator confirmed it.
Yeah.
So we know for sure he's been officially beaten.
I also love how in your excuse me, sorry. I also love how Inuyasha, he gets Jack with the leg that Jack stole from him. Like, that's his leg that, he shoves that blade into
his gut.
Fucking love it.
Good
Canine Cleaver,
shit.
bro.
It's good shit. And then one last little fuck you to me.
Yeah, bro.
We all knew, though.
You're kidding me. There goes Jack. But I guess that's not my problem.
Yeah, it's like they all hate... They're all trying to kill me now, so...
And look, the chapter...
We knew it.
Brock, is there a break?
Is there a break?
Did you find a little tiny...
Luckily, I did not find a break this time.
So we're assuming
next chapter will arrive on 10.
Don't make me the standard for break finding.
Well, last time you found it, we didn't, so I gotta defer to you.
The next official release will be 10/3/21. Obviously, we'll most likely get the scans on 10/1/21.
Yep.
So
wild. Okay. Also, beautiful cover art. You'll see those in the actual video. With the official, there isn't any.
Yeah.
But there is some good stuff coming.
No. Okay, so
Wunderbar.
Like I said, bro, Pirate King energy. When you split,
here's why I told you to hold off on the split the sky thing, because all weekend on Reddit, especially, I've just been watching the discourse between all of the people discussing this development. You still have so many people who are like, Luffy's not Yonko level. Luffy's not Yonko level. And that's why I said hold off on this thing about the splitting the sky, because we've only seen this with Big Mom and Kaido.
Yep.
Shanks and Whitebeard. Yeah. Was there one other instance that I'm thinking of besides this one?
I'm sure if it had been a cloudy sky, Roger and Whitebeard would have done the same.
Exactly. We only ever see this when two equals by the standards of the world.
Well, we always cut away too. Whenever we have a clash like this, it's like there's a clash, there's a sky split. Let's go to something else. Mm-hmm. Now we get to see the outcome.
Yep,
we're gonna see the outcome of this.
Now that the MC's involved,
yeah,
we get to see that shit.
So, all I gotta say, Luffy's Yonko level. If anybody in the fandom is not okay with that, I'm sorry. But it's done. We're heading towards Luffy beating Kaido, or at least being on equal terms with Kaido from here on out.
That's gotta be the ending of Wano, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I think they build it up too much for it to not be like an end fight.
Yeah, I think we could easily have like Kaido falls, Luffy falls, and then just like the Katakuri fall, he gets up.
It's like I've been saying though ever since
that's Yonko level though.
Yeah,
that just is.
But it's like I've been saying ever since Onigashima came up out of the water.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Oda just made the stakes so freaking real that the only way that this ends is Kaido goes down.
If they want to survive.
If they want to survive.
If they want to see all those
Kaido
people.
has to go down. The only thing right now that can give them maybe a little bit more time is just depending on how well Momonosuke can hold back the island. Because at this point, Alex is correct from, or at least I'm pretty sure, you said it was going to be a 2v2, right?
Well,
he said 3v1.
So it's a 3v1 right now.
Sorry, 2v1.
I mean, I think it's a 3v1, but if Momo just has to hold up Onigashima, he's done his part in that fight, right? He doesn't need to be fighting Kaido. He doesn't need to get the killing blow on Kaido.
He's not going to be able to.
He just needs to save Wano from Onigashima smashing down
the
just
speaking in terms like he doesn't have, as he is now, right. even grown up, he's still just grown up. He doesn't have the natural power or the built-up ability to beat Kaido.
He doesn't even know how to use Blast Breath.
Yeah,
exactly. If it's even a thing that he
can
do.
Right?
Like, I still don't understand how his fruit is a failure, but you know what I mean? Right? They ranked Vegapunk's Devil Fruit as a failure.
The random theory I saw was just that they wanted it to be a red fruit and it came out pink or something.
Who knows?
Yeah, so they want it to be red.
Yeah.
Oh, salmon!
Oh, failure! Well, that's the thing. No one had eaten it, though. Like, how do you... Anyway, it's just interesting to me that I don't know why that devil fruit is still considered a failure, considering what it's doing right now.
So that's the other thing.
We may never know.
So we might actually find out soon.
You think there's going to be some big catastrophe with it?
Not necessarily a catastrophe, just maybe a limit to its abilities. Maybe Momo is able to hold back Onigashima for a little bit here. Because when Luffy was on the ground about 2-3 chapters ago, it said 15 minutes until Onigashima reaches the mainland. I bet you Momo can only hold it back for like 5 to 10 minutes. And maybe something happens where he has to transform back into himself. Or it only has a certain amount of whatever. I mean, we'll see.
Momo always seemed to have a problem choosing when to transform. Like, he would get scared and transform. He would get scared and transform back, right? I don't know if that was just because he didn't have confidence in himself, or if the transformations literally had an issue with them, right?
Well, I think it was...
Because him transforming right now would be a problem.
I think it was...
If he just, got scared and then now he's an adult fallen,
I think it's a matter, and I think we talked about this before, not on the podcast, but I think it's also the matter of... Because I think we see that the more experience the person has as a fighter, the better, the more trained they are, the more easily they adapt to a devil fruit.
Momo has
He was a kid who he was raised well by his parents as well as they could, and they were raised him in a happy way, a peaceful way. So he currently has not little to no fighting experience.
Yeah, really. He's relying on his retainers.
So obviously he's not going to be able to do everything that he want to do.
Yeah.
With the fruit, even growing up, because he's still got the mind of a child and the heart of a child, because he still is Momo the child, just got aged physically.
It's actually an interesting inverse where it's, kind of like Odin, his retainers relied on him, right, to keep them alive. And now Momo, for the first part, a large part of his journey, relied on them to keep him alive up to this point. Now he's just being fucking drugged. Maybe now he's more in line with what Oda would have wanted, right? Him being the head of the retainers, the scabbards. So, I mean, Inuyasha and Nekomamushi, I feel like are safe. I don't think anything can happen to them now.
No, I was gonna say nothing's gonna happen.
I think their fights are basically done. I'm so glad they got their own fights. That was one of the issues I was having with the Akazaya 9.
Well, especially because Inu, like it's Alex just pointed it out. Obviously, he jabs him with the leg that he took. Like. Poetic justice bites.
That's just. I'm just happy because at first it seemed like the Akazaya 9 just weren't gonna get any of the fights that they deserved to me anyway. And because like they kept dropping like flies. But then these two, they were able to take out. They got to take out two main players, which thank God the Akazaya 9 are finally playing a part in the battle, not just defending Momo, which that's important. But this is their battle, right? Now they got to have some part in it besides getting beaten down by Kaido.
And you know, Nekomamushi has his own poetic justice in defeating, you know, Perospero, who, you know, is largely the reason that Pedro is dead. Right? That's his poetic justice. If
Perospero we can say that if Perospero hadn't been involved, he wouldn't need to sacrifice himself.
Sure.
So by extension,
but he had to be considering they were trying to stop the Strides from leaving. Pedro saw no.
And he was their main. He was their main thing keeping it from going.
Yeah, Pedro sacrificed himself. Largely, Peckham sacrificed himself. Inuyasha, and funnily enough, they're all cats, right? They were all in the like cats as far as like Peckham.
No, Inuyasha wasn't a cat. What are you?
Inuyasha is a cat. He's a cat mink. Sorry, Nekomamushi.
Okay.
Nekomamushi.
I was like,
Pedro.
Inu means dog.
Sorry.
Inu means dog, dude.
Nekomamushi, Pedro, and Peckhams, they're all cats, all from that side of Zou, where they're like the nighttime people, right? Those two died, saving the Straw Hats from certain demise. And Nekomamushi finally gets to defeat Perospero, the one largely responsible for the majority of all that strategic planning that, you know, kept putting those barriers
and the death. And not to mention that Pedro was one of their top guys.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was basically
he wanted to see the dawn.
He was basically Nekomushi's like right hand.
His sacrifice allows them to get to where we're going right now. So no, it's very poetic for both of them. I feel like their stories are literally capped at this point. Like there might be some more, but they're perfect.
If anything, it might be just some support.
Inuyasha has avenged the minks. Nekomamushi has avenged the minks. That passed on, right?
They've essentially they've
evened it
the
all
Lords
out.
of Day and Night. They've protected their people and avenged their people.
Yeah, love that.
And also they just took two big fighters out of the problem.
Yeah,
because
like I said,
real, like that's the thing about like first of all, Jack, he causes destruction wherever he goes, especially given what he turns into, and then fucking Perospero, he's a decent fighter and he's also really good at subduing and stopping. So he would have been, and long range at that, so he would have been a bitch to deal with, especially if he had gone up to help Kaido or help the guys against Big Mom.
Well, and he was going to be a huge problem for Sanji and Zoro if he just kept shooting arrows and shit. Like, they're not worried about him.
He would have been that annoying motherfucker who could potentially...
He would have been the anti-support to them, and that would have maybe made the difference.
He would have been a Fox McCloud sitting on the end of the stage just shooting his gun at people while people are trying to do their normal fight on the other end in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Don't see too much from Yamato this chapter. Like, she has reactions to things, but she's not really getting involved, really giving Luffy his moment to clash with Kaido and to kind of set the scene of...
We'll see.
You know, I don't know...
I didn't expect much from Yamato this chapter.
I don't know how much more I can expect from Yamato.
On my end...
It seems like
on my end, I didn't really emphasize this. One of the reasons I don't think it's going to be a 2-on-1... two things. Two things for me, anyways.
Go off.
One, I'm going to go off right now.
Go off, Queen.
No. Can I be King? He's cooler.
Yeah,
King, Queen.
King doesn't talk as much.
Yeah,
anyways,
talk too much to be king.
We all do. Come on.
Exactly. That's why we run a podcast.
But no, I think one of it just feels like they've been really building up his fight with Kaido for one, and then second. From what Yamato was saying, she stated herself that she was holding him off for Luffy, which made me insinuate at least that this is the Luffy fight, and she's going to go where else she's needed. I don't know yet for sure.
I think you actually have a really good point there. I don't
know
if Yamato needs to get involved if Luffy seems like he's got this.
That's just where it leads me to believe, because she can be used elsewhere, in my opinion.
Well,
There's a lot of people.
If she's not in the fight, I just kind of see her like kind of being a witness to it, right?
I don't know, and also who knows what kind of machinations Orochi's up to.
She makes her own Odin-style journal.
Yeah, like maybe she completes the journal in a sense.
Almost
She
like
documents the death of
Frodo to
Kaido.
Sam giving the red book on to finish the end of the...
Yeah, man. Like, and thus Wano opened with the defeat of Kaido by the hands of Straw Hat.
And
Luffy,
obviously,
right?
obviously...
That would be kind of a cool end of a chapter.
Cool. Obviously, there's no proof that she's not going to join the fight here yet. But it just feels like it's been leading to that for me.
I just think you're making a really good point about that. I always thought 3 things, but, if Momo carries Onigashima on his back, if you will, supporting the Land of Wonders non-destruction, and Yamato records it for all time in history of the Land of Wano, finishing Odin's chapter truly, bringing the dawn, if you will. Mm-hmm. Luffy can be the one to make history, right? She records it, he keeps it safe, he makes it happen. I think that's a pretty perfect trifecta.
She can be the true history, too. Because you know that whatever rumors get out of Wano, they will be skewed by the government, they will be skewed by...
Yeah, Aegis, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have a presence here, which we'll get back to it, I'm sure, at some point. But, every single time the Straw Hats do something for a country, right, it gets covered up, given to someone else.
Which is
until Fujitora in Dressrosa, right?
I love Fujitora.
Where he apologized, put it all on the government, and Sakazuki was like, why would you do that,
If we've done nothing wrong, we should have nothing to hide!
And now we're in a place that's isolated from the world government, and they are the ones recording this history. So maybe this is the first time we can truly be like, yeah, Luffy and the Straw Hats
Here's hoping that the world actually gets, the true story at this point, because... Go ahead.
What's also funny is that, and I think it's almost a testament to how unstoppable Luffy is just as a force.
Yeah.
Because...
Tanky boy.
Not even just like also metaphorically speaking as well. Yeah. Every time they've covered up, they've never been able to do it completely. There's always been something that evolved Luffy in the eyes of the public.
That's true.
Something that granted more infamy to his name that brought others to his cause.
Yeah.
So in some ways, they're trying to cover up, harmed them, and helped Luffy.
Yeah.
So this almost felt like no matter how much they tried, the enemy of God will always get through that. Yeah. Get through that concealing fog,
right? In some way, shape, or form.
So it's just like, yes.
No, it's funny because my girlfriend and I we're watching Reverie right now, which is my first time watching Reverie from the anime's perspective, and literally all they can talk about, all of these kings and queens, at least the groups that we focus on, is Luffy and how much he's done for them. It's like, hey, we can't talk about Luffy here, but like, we love Luffy. Like, you love that. Even the top echelons are, acknowledging him, which is a whole different perspective than like the people that he beats acknowledging him. Yeah. Like, Luffy's just being acknowledged. It's time for the community to acknowledge him,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, shit, what does he need to do?
What's happening to him, it's funny, what's happening to him is what I wish would happen to Saitama, where he, get more. But that's also, it's such a good, thing. It's such a good thing.
That's the gag, right?
That's another anime. It's not even a gag. It's just a really cool thing where, I'm doing all this stuff, but I don't want them to...
No, right? I just want to go to my apartment, eat my noodles, and chill.
But no,
Okay. I have to ask this because I'm really interested in your guys' thoughts. What the fuck is Orochi gonna do? What is his end game at this point, bro?
Oh, it's hard to tell, man.
He sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? He deserves some kind of an end, right? Or does he? Can he become a good...
No.
Okay.
He's done far too...
Kurizumi's at this point are irredeemable.
The moment...
I mean, no one thought he was dead when all his servant heads got cut off, right? You can't cut off his head and kill him.
We all hoped, but we all knew.
Yeah.
The moment that it was revealed what he did with the leftover smiles.
Yeah.
He was completely beyond any sort of
redemption,
forgiveness.
Yeah.
Because and the scene is so much, and you'll understand when you get there. But the scene where I'm sorry, what's Momo's sister's name again? Hiyori. When she tells the story, tears in her eyes. It's like, if this isn't hell, I don't know what is. And you're just like, fuck this guy.
Absolutely.
Die, Orochi, die.
Absolutely.
And so after that, you're like, no, there's no forgiveness. He's completely just like, laugh, this is heaven on earth.
Right,
you know,
right.
jokingly, mockingly
Yeah.
towards the people who he just constantly just shits on.
He's just not a pudding, right?
Yeah.
Because
Pudding.
mocking, evil, right? And then
She's just a super tsundere.
No,
Let's be real.
true.
Super
Very,
tsundere is
very
what she
true.
is. It was really mean when she talked all that shit around Sanji was
Right.
crying, but then like later on, it was like they obviously had some like connection there.
Yeah.
No woman's gonna come up to Orochi and be like, "Oh, you have beautiful eyes."
True.
I'm sorry.
No, it's very
that
true.
dude. Looks
I
like,
can see past your.
I can see
Okay,
past your
So-
buck teeth.
So let's look at the history then. What other terrible antagonists like Orochi? I would put Spandam out there. What's happened to them, and can we draw a conclusion from their stories for his?
Well, I think the problem with Orochi.
Because he's not strong, right? He's a weak antagonist who's a piece of shit who has some power and has abused it terribly, right?
Yeah.
Spandam's in this box. Who else?
Spandam,
What other shitty antagonists don't have a lot of
There
power?
was someone I had in my mind. I just completely lost him. I mean, he has a lot of power. Yeah, it's the Tenryubito. What's his name?
Charlos?
Charlos, right?
Three of my most hated guys. All of them are
Yeah.
very much in the same vein. Not a lot of power. I mean, not a lot of personal strength. A lot of
Right.
political power. Type
So Charlos just chilling in Marijois got his twice over now, but like fine, right? Spandam, right?
Yeah.
Broken spine, fucked him up. Now he's an Aegis.
And I think it also depends
Kurozumi.
on. I also think it depends on who finishes him. If it's Luffy or someone from the Straw Hats, it's not going to kill him because they don't kill.
Well, yeah. Luffy definitely.
If it was one of the Akusai 9, that might be a different matter because they've personally.
So
Oh, they tried to kill him, right?
Yeah.
That was
we
their
got
whole
Raizo fighting Fukurokuju still.
Right.
We didn't see the end of that fight, so we'll need
should
to
still
see
be
that.
going on.
Yeah.
Earlobes and scrolls.
Yeah, whatever the heck's going on there.
There's got to be some reason for it, right? Some kind of ending there.
We'll see. We'll see.
It's just interesting as a fight to me.
What other members of the Yakuza 9 are still...
Kiyashiro.
Kiyoshiro's out there.
Kiyashiro has not been
You
seen
know
in
what?
quite a while.
You know what? If I had to guess right now, your boy's gonna finish Orochi off. Your boy's gonna finish.
You know
Orochi
what?
off.
That'd be fitting.
You did serve him for all
Exactly.
those years. That would be kind of
That'd be a good
poetic.
way to finally put that rage away.
Because then we can get a little bit more flashbacks of all the things. Like, I
all
bet
the
you
shit he's done
Orochi
that he
made
had
him
to-
do so many horrible things
Yeah.
while he was pretending to serve him.
We really haven't seen him in quite
No,
a while.
we haven't seen him for a bit.
And that's been bugging me.
I bet your boy finishes him off. Because that,
Like, he's just above Orochi in the doorway going, yeah, that kind of sucks for you.
I'd be alright with that.
Well, what? Okay, so how do we kill Orochi? Right?
Well-
Can't cut off his head as a human. Can't cut off his head as a fucking Hydra.
If we're going with, let's see how it depends.
Just a head?
Here's the thing: if it depends on how much he follows the Hydra myth. Because if you cut off their heads with fire, they don't grow back.
You cut off their heads and you burn the stumps, right?
Exactly.
Right. That's Herculean. That's Greek, right?
Exactly. So it's hard to say. What's up?
First off, so who is Kiroshiro or Denjiro's oldest friend in the Yakuza 9?
Shit, it's got to be the.
Kinemon.
Kinemon.
Okay.
They were the
Okay.
first two friends.
Okay.
Follow me along. Here.
I'll follow
you along.
I'm following.
Okay, we assume right now Kinemon is either dead or dying.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Tough spot for him.
The Mantle of Fox Fire, somebody who can cut fire with their sword, can be passed. I think it can be passed down, if you ask me. And I think it should go to his actual closest friend. Not Conjuro, because obviously that was who
That
we
was
all
fucked,
thought was Kinemon's closest friend
Fucked.
because we didn't know where Denjiro was.
Such a good act. Such a terrible act.
Such a terrible act. But I say, before Denjiro finishes off your boy, or finishes off our fucking awful person,
Yeah.
he goes and he finds Kinemon. And maybe Kinemon, with his final dying words, might confirm that he's actually going to die. Who knows?
Yeah,
We'll see.
right.
But he gives him his katana.
Mm.
And Denjiro at this point has been a one-sword style person, correct?
I don't want to be a dick. They did break his swords. Shit. Kaido broke both of his swords.
That's true.
Well, maybe with his last words, the spirit. Like, kind of the same thing with Red Hawk.
The fire cutting technique or something.
Fire cutting technique or something.
I mean, Zoro can use it, so I don't see
He
why
did.
Denjiro-
Zoro did take that from him.
I don't see why Denjiro...
Because he cut the blast
grown
breath,
up with him.
remember? Very epic moment. Remind me, Brock, and you might know this, Berg.
Yeah, what's up?
He cuts fire. Does he actually have fire on his blades?
No. He cuts through explosions.
He can
with
cut
fire.
through. That's the other thing. I don't like poking holes, but I just gotta I ask questions.
But what if he finds a way to make it so he can set his blade aflame? And that's what he does with that.
I get where you're going with this. I do.
I just
Final chops that are burning that would work the
exactly.
that would work the myth that would kill him.
That's what I want.
Right.
Yeah. No, I could definitely. I don't know that the actual theory would work, but I do agree that I think Denjiro would be a good person.
I think
to finish
Denjiro
him.
needs to be the person.
He's the only one left, right?
Well, I mean, there's Kawamatsu.
Shutenmaru, we're assuming, is down. Kiku's obviously down.
Kawamatsu's around.
Down.
Kawamatsu's on the life floor.
Kawamatsu's on the life floor.
And then Kiku's brother. What's his name again?
Izu's not one of the. Is he one of the scabbers?
I would consider him an honorary one
Shoots.
in place of Conjuro.
Yeah,
but
he's also on the life floor, right?
Yeah.
I'm just listening. To
He's got Marco right now. He's keeping Marco
exactly.
safe, and Marco doesn't burn things with his flame.
And then you have Neko and Inu.
They're
and
good.
Denjiro.
I'm pretty sure they did their
Inu and Neko can just
they did their thing.
Survive, please. Thanks.
Yeah,
we're good.
That's all I need from them.
So happy for you too.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, Kiyoshiro has been gone for a while. He's kind of like a little bit of a.
He's the mystery at the moment.
He's like the card up the sleeve, I think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Who's that mystery person?
And then obviously the ninth, if we include Izo in there, was Raizo, and he's currently fighting Fukurokuju.
What if Momo eats Orochi?
Would that kill Orochi?
That'd be so funny. I'm not saying that's gonna happen. I'm just saying that'd be hilarious.
My simple answer to killing Orochi is just stab him like normally. Why you keep cutting off his heads? That's clearly like the thing, right?
Who knows, man?
But would he get back from that?
I don't know. Maybe there's more facets to power we don't know about.
I feel like it's just the beheading thing, because that's all that's happened to him, right?
Yeah.
King's cut off his head, fine.
Bunch of the samurai cut off more of
all of his heads, fine. Like,
I don't know, man.
Does he come back with more heads too? I want to see his form again to see if he has a bunch more heads, right?
I hope not.
Because that's the whole thing with at least the Greek.
With the Hydra,
right?
Yeah.
It's just you cut one, you get
two
more.
But we gotta remember though. I keep forgetting that it's not the Hydra. It's Yamato no Orochi, the Japanese creature of legend.
It is a Japanese.
So that's not. It's not
one to one.
It's not.
Exactly.
It's not the same.
It doesn't have to be 1-to-1.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the same deal. So it might not be fire. That's the answer either.
It just seems like that guy fucking persists, right?
Well, I mean, he's a fucking cockroach.
He's a piece of shit.
He's a
I mean, the
cockroach.
same thing happens, right? You have the worst person being beat at the very end. Like, Lucci fell before fucking Spandam did, right?
I know when Spandam gets shot by Usopp several times, and then Robin like breaks his spine,
which somehow doesn't end his career entirely. He's just I am on CPA just now. Q. I don't know. I don't know what we do with Orochi. I think we can all agree he dies.
I don't know.
You think?
That's when the Straw Hats are involved. You just don't know.
I lean towards he dies because
if Kiyoshiro is involved, I'm going to say death.
Yes, straight up.
My assumption is the Akazai 9 are involved with his end, which I'm certain that's the case.
Didn't you say that you thought maybe Zoro might take him out a while ago?
I think that was very much a potential. Well, I wasn't like.
If Zoro has that connection with that certain samurai in the cave, right? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be maybe a connector as to why he might?
I think King will be enough for him.
Yeah.
King
and then Cap.
As a Zoro lover, I think King is where Zoro can stop in this arc in terms of like main fights and stuff, because he's one of the seconds to the Yonko. Sure, that's where Zoro belongs as the first mate to the Pirate King. I think we're on the right track. Then Akazai 9.
It makes the most sense.
Is going to take down Orochi.
One of them.
Maybe it'll be a team effort. Maybe there's a certain way they got to do it to beat his power. But I think that's what happened. And what I think would be really cool, what I personally love, because I know a lot of people believe that I'm still on the side that I don't think Kinemon's dead.
Sure.
I think if Kinemon came back and finished him some way. That would be like the ultimate justice. But that's just me. But I do think what I was saying was Akazai 9 involved, unless it's about bringing him before the people, because he made all of Wano suffer.
Let them decide.
Maybe make that a thing. But if it's just them, probably death.
He hates pain. It should be really painful how he goes.
For sure.
At the very least, the Scabbards don't know how to kill him. Because obviously they tried to in that one moment, and he's fine. And so they don't know how his power works.
Yeah, and we don't know. And maybe we can get some insight looking into Yamato no Orochi's. Maybe he has like regenerative powers.
Does he have any more backstory, or is he pretty much capped on that?
Orochi, I think he's basically capped on that because we've seen him essentially grow up.
Yeah,
we've seen him from his roots.
Yeah.
To when he
we know why he's fucked up.
We've seen him from tiny piece of shit to huge mountain of fucking steaming shit. Sorry.
True. No, I think Hiroshiro's a good answer there. I think poetically speaking, it makes a lot of sense. And we haven't seen him in a while. Maybe he's been preparing some way to
because
finish him.
He's the guy who's been face to face with Orochi.
He's also
10
known
years.
him the long. Yeah, right. If anyone has any idea of how to beat Orochi, it has to be him, right?
Yeah. So.
So interesting.
I think Denjiro would be the best choice, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if not that, I want to know what's going on with my boy Denjiro. It's my favorite Scabbard. Come on, show me what's going on with him.
Yeah.
What's he been up to? Because the coolest moment for me, the last one that he had, was when he beat up Sasaki, right? And he tied him to that tree.
Yeah.
And he let down his kimono, and like that giant, Kozuki tattoos on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Was sick as hell.
Yeah.
Was sick as hell. I'm waiting for the next thing. It's been a while. Waiting for the next thing. Which, if it's Orochi, that'd be perfect for me. Okay. I think that's pretty much 1026, 1027.
Anything else from you, Bert?
I've just been reading comments on Reddit that were funny. My standout one, I can't give credit to the commenter because I forgot the name, but it was started in a barrel, now we hear.
Dude, true. So true. Every new chapter, you're just like, man, a barrel is where this began. Jeez. Cutting, very beginning, a little boy cutting his face with a knife to prove that he can't.
No, for sure.
I wish they hadn't taken that out of the anime.
They didn't. Laura and I just watched it like 7 episodes ago. It pops up for like 2 seconds in like 880.
Oh, you're right. It's
tiny.
Yeah, but that's dumb that they literally...
Yeah, the very first panel, it happens 800 episodes
in the anime, you're literally like with this character who has a scar on his face and you don't know why if you only watch the anime.
True, but if you can start the manga, you know immediately.
No, of course.
Exactly. That's the first scene.
It is
first
interesting.
thing.
I think the reason, and this could be wrong, but the reason is that Oda didn't want to like show that kind of horrifying thing with the very first episode of his anime. So he's like, well, show other things.
That was probably more on the play of the...
He doesn't want kids stabbing themselves in the face.
That was probably more on the play
Luffy's so cool!
That was probably more,
what did you do?
That was probably more on the play of the TV people.
Yeah.
It could have been. They didn't want to have too much. Like, they could have a guy lose his arm who's like an adult, but like a kid stabbing himself with a knife, that's not good.
Yeah, but Whitebeard getting his face half punched off, we can't fucking show that.
Not in the anime.
Exactly.
Not in the anime.
That's so sad.
It's so much more sick in the manga, dude.
It's incredibly sick.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
1026, anything else, Burke?
I don't feel like I have anything else to
Predictions!
add.
1027.
Like we just said, at this point, the only active fights that we truly care about are Queen, King, Fukurokuju, and Raizo.
Do we even care about that? That can be off-screen. I'm sorry. Unless there's something that's dropped that's really interesting, that can be off-screen for me.
I just want to see it finished.
Oh, you do?
I just... Oh. They've showed us.
No, I think what he's referring to is like do him like they did Nekomushi and Inarashi.
Because we
Give
still
them
had
end fight.
We still had Jack and fucking.
Maybe it's poetic.
Show how they win. Show how he wins. Because there's obviously a connection there because they both were ninjas in service of the same lord until one went for another.
Sure.
So there is I think there is a connection there between the two of them. Like there was a connection between the other ones.
I don't know. I don't feel like I have high stakes in that one.
So we have those three.
Yeah.
We have Big Mom. We have Kaido. Right?
Still have no idea where
Are those the only 5 that we care about at this point?
Kaido, Big Mom, King, Queen,
Fukurokuju.
Those
you
are
care. I think it's
those
fun.
are
no, but you get a.
I'm just saying it's a big enough.
Are you super invested in that one?
I'm not super invested, but it's been shown.
I'll drop it as fifth most important.
But I'm just saying,
he's a named character.
Besides,
one of the main ones are fighting.
Fodder versus fodder.
I'm not worried about the fodder.
Aegis isn't fighting when they're there.
No.
Right. Apu's down. Apu's not down.
Oh,
Apu Drake.
Apu fighting Drake? Is that still clear?
They all left the live.
Oh, and there's also freaking Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Oh,
killer.
yeah, sick. There we go.
There's
Literally
so much. There's so much still.
There is still quite a bit to do there.
I think we're gonna start taking these out though.
I think. Well, we know where Luffy's at right now.
So here's what I gotta say.
Probably pause that and go back to a couple of the other ones.
I say next chapter. If I had to just say like what the content is going to be, I say maybe we get a brief show of like what Momo's doing really quick to maybe stop Onigashima. I think we cut to a little bit more of Zoro and Sanji doing their thing against King and Queen.
Yeah.
And I say we see the finish of maybe Fukurokuju. We maybe see Killer get an up.
Maybe he figures out something.
He figures something out, maybe not necessarily enough to finish Hawkins.
We see the end game there, though, maybe.
Yes. Start seeing the end game there. And then... I think at this point it's going to... Every chapter is going to start leading us towards where we're getting down to.
It's going to pull in his lobby.
The last three that we care about.
Yeah.
King, Queen, Kaido. Maybe Big Mom instead of King.
I think we can beat King,
or
Queen, and
4.
just have Kaido Big Mom, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know about that, though. I
really don't.
I definitely see Kaido falling. I still just do not know what the fuck's going to happen with Big Mom.
So...
I can see her falling, but I don't necessarily see her falling because of just those two.
I don't see how.
So
I love that they're holding her off this long.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
big props. Big props.
They're strong enough, for sure.
Big props.
So what I'm thinking...
Are we saying they're Yonko level? I don't know about that.
I don't think they're quite Luffy level.
No.
But
I love them.
Absolutely.
I'd put Law up there strategically. Not power, but like strategically. His mind is Yonko.
He's like the Shikamaru to
Yes.
Naruto.
Perfect connection. Perfect
what I think we're going to follow the theme of ending the Akazaya fights. I think we're going to at least end Raizo's fight next chapter. Because it would make sense for that to come after these two.
I'd like that to be. Let's just
finish that up.
4 panels.
We might even get like an update on some of the other characters who aren't in big fights.
My dude.
2 panels?
2 panels, my dude.
I'll give him 4 at least. At least 1 page.
But I think that fight will be finished next chapter. I think we're going to get a general review of the other fights, maybe. I don't think we're going to focus as much on Luffy's fight right now because it's obviously started. And I think from here on out, Luffy's fight is going to be in like major chunks. Because I think we're at that final fight finally.
I could definitely see Sanji, Zoro, Luffy, Kaido, and Big Mom, Kid Law. Those 3 fights kind of being like what's funneled for like a few chapters after we get everything else done. So I think we should focus on smaller stuff.
I think the only thing
I'd like an update on the Big Mom ship.
You're never gonna get it, dude.
No, honestly,
Oda forgot. And he's just not going to come back to it.
No, do not even. Okay, really quick, shout out to Murphy Napier on YouTube. I've been loving her reading through the series as well. But I was bursting out laughing the other night. I couldn't spoil it for Kat because I was just like, oh my god. But so she just finished up Fishman Island.
Sure. Yeah.
And she was just like talking about like a bunch of the characters. And she was just like, Caribou, like what a disappointment. Like I don't see Oda ever bringing that guy back to make any difference. And I literally was just like laughing my ass off because I'm just like, that was like 3 fucking chapters ago that he like brought him back in a significant way that actually helped the story.
Interestingly enough,
like he's still not like, oh yeah, he's a
don't love him,
don't care for him that much, but like he had some meaning.
Caribou, he has the meats.
Bird.
So do not ever say that Oda forgets random shit because he will bring it back in a way that you'll be like,
the
what?
problem is it's just not so random, you know.
So here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking it'll go.
Third waterfall?
I don't think 2 Yonkos are going to be beaten in one stage. I think she will get out once Kaido's beaten.
And the ship.
And I think the ship will be there to get her out. I think there's no other point for that ship to be there at this point.
She orders them to take her out of Wano, or the ship's
here's the thing.
Take Mom and retreat.
Here's the thing. Like, before this, she saw them as people who couldn't possibly stand up to a Yonko. But if they beat someone like Kaido, who she was so certain they couldn't beat, then I'm pretty sure at that point it's like, okay, well, time to reevaluate. I'm going to go over here, and I'll get revenge on you later with a much larger force type deal. That seems like Big Mom's style to me. I don't see both. I don't see both Yonkos getting beaten right here. I could be wrong.
You can always be wrong.
But you can always be wrong. But and also, real quick, Burke, when you were talking about Caribou coming back, I'm not going to give you spoilers on it just in case anybody who listens to this who hasn't watched, but Shang-Chi, when you saw him come back, your mouth was wide open. I looked at him, he was like...
On Kaido?
No, Shang-Chi.
No, I know. On Kaido.
No,
not that.
Not the actual character Shang-Chi.
Okay.
The
person from another movie who you never expected.
Yes.
To make his way back in.
Panda Express. Yes.
Yes. That's all I want to say on that because that was just like that was the same energy.
We do not have to tag spoilers there. We're good.
But
cool. Well, I mean, I'm not saying he's forgotten. Where are they? You know. I guess there's no real way for them to get up there.
Well, that's the other thing.
But that's going to be a shitty time if they come down and they're just like, all right, War Part 2.
Right.
Look, there's a sweet general on there. Like, if we think we're clowning on Big Mom, Smoothie is a whole nother conversation.
Smoothie's gotten so clowned on, dude.
So clowned
These Big Mom's done some terrifying shit.
Yeah, but I think combine the fact that they took out their eldest brother.
No, I know.
They took out their top.
He's the strongest.
He's still one of their top officers. Let's be real. Like he's not one of the sweet commanders, but beneath them, I'm pretty sure he's one of the top.
I don't want to expand on this too much longer, but like, just I've seen the theory. Whole Cake's unguarded, Katakuri's there. Do we get a snippet of maybe like Blackbeard invading Whole Cake and Katakuri having to defend it?
Possibly.
Would that be kind of cool?
I'd be cool.
Would you be pretty sad with how that would probably end?
I don't expect it, but I think it's
anything that Blackbeard does at this point, dude, is just calculated.
You can't expect
He needs the poneglyph, right? That Big Mom has.
If we assume his goal is the One Piece.
Well, I mean, right? Isn't it?
We don't know.
I don't know.
Edward. Whitebeard was like, he's not the one you're waiting for, so we have to assume he wants the One Piece.
I don't know.
We don't know anything about
Does
him.
anybody truly understand what Blackbeard wants? The only thing he ever wanted that he was clear was I had this book of devil fruits and I always wanted that one, and then when Thatch brought that back, I killed him for it.
He knew that devil
and
fruit
then
was
from there he put in motion all the things that would eventually get him also the Gura no Mi.
Yes, and to be a Yonko.
Yeah.
So, how about this? Let me rephrase it. If his goal is the One Piece for some reason,
then
this is the best time to go to Whole Cake.
Yeah.
This
all
is
their
the best
strongest
time.
warriors.
Cracker is injured. Katakuri is injured.
At least make sense as to what he meant by if they're just gonna leave it there, then I'm gonna go and take it.
Right, or that could be something completely different. Right.
We'll see.
Anyway, I'm kind of interested in that conversation going forward. Next chapter, 1027. I'm gonna say, fuck it. I think we're gonna get some kind of snippet on where that boat is, and we're gonna finish up some of the smaller fights.
I'd be down.
I just want a little bit of an update on that.
I would be happy with any of our theories coming true on this.
If it goes knock down the waterfall again, perfect.
Third time.
I don't know who knocks it down for a third time, but hey, if that's what happens, cool. I need 2 panels of that.
Momo goes
We're
flying.
almost there.
Momo goes flying down and just.
I was literally like, who else do we know that flies besides Marco and King? And I'm like, Momo just learned how to fly.
You know how that would be perfect, though? Is if they came way after everything, and Momo shows up, you can't come into Wano. Boom! That would be perfect. But that would take them quite a while.
Yeah, that was true.
Okay, well, I think that will conclude 1027, 1026, if there is nothing else. So, we will see you in 1 week's time, with no break. 1027. No! All right, listeners, that concludes this episode of the Yonko Podcast. The sky parted, the moon came out, and 2 more big shots went down. King, Queen, Kaido, you're all up next to fall. Take them down, Luffy! You got 2 mythical zones on your side, and you're really coming into that Pirate King energy. Let's fucking go! With that, see you all next time on the Yonko Podcast, chapter review 1027. No break! Let's beat the last streak, Oda. No break for 4 weeks! 1 month! Let's go! Alright, boys, we're off.